Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Lieutenant General Michael A. Bills, 8th Army Commanding General, and Command Sergeant Major Jason Schmidt, 8th Army Command Sergeant Major, welcome to today's retirement ceremony. It is very fitting that today we pause to recognize and celebrate the dedicated service of Sergeant First Class Vincent L. Abril, wife Julie, and children Emily and Oscar. The formation to your rear consists of the 8th Army Band, Peninsula Winds. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the national anthems of the Republic of Korea and of the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Derek C. Cooper.
Thank you for coming out and participating today. I want to start by saying what a great honor and privilege it is for me to be able to host this ceremony on behalf of General Abril and Command Sergeant Major Schmidt. The profession of arms is unique, as are the individuals who comprise our great Army. We pay tribute to the men and women who have worked for a higher cause, stood for something bigger than themselves, and have added value to the lives of the people they have touched. Unique in our business is that the retirement transcends any individual. It recognizes the sacrifices, the hardships, the separations, the glory, and most importantly, the friendships that have been developed along the way. Today, we are here to celebrate the retirement of Sergeant First Class Vincent Abril. There are many people here who will be sad to see you go. You've made a lot of friends along your journey, and we certainly will feel the loss in your absence. When it comes to a job a person does, I think many of us in the room would agree, we enjoy it more when we're around hardworking people who we trust. The soldier and the journalist Oliver William Wendell Holmes once said, "It is faith and enthusiasm that makes life worth living." Sergeant Abril, it has been your faith in the Army and the enthusiasm for soldiering that has truly distinguished your career. As you leave the Army today and take those experiences with you, you leave an indelible mark on the men and women who you mentored along the way. There's no greater legacy can be left than leaving your fellow soldiers better than when you found them. And I think all that have been in contact with you over the years would say that you've done just that. So folks, would you please join me in a quick round of applause for Sergeant Abril. However, we couldn't stop without recognizing another group who are very deserving equal amounts of recognition today. We have with us his mother and father-in-law, Ms. Kap Soon Park and Mr. Song Yu Kim. Mrs. Park is a devoted housewife who has spent her time learning English and enjoying her golden years. Mr. Kim is a retired Buddhist priest who now devotes his time to writing and reciting poems on the peninsula. Both have been very supportive of Sergeant Abril, and definitely last but not least is Sergeant First Class Abril's immediate family. His wife of 18 years, Julie, good to see you, and the two children, Emily, age 13, and Oscar, hey Oscar, age 6. All right. Military families are the pillars behind the service members through deployments, frequent moves, new schools, and long periods apart. It takes physical and emotional strength for military men and women to do their job. It also takes great strength to do the job of the spouse, the daughter, and the son. These roles are often rebranded as the breadwinner, the homemaker, the student, the athlete, the dog walker, the activities coordinator, the taxi service, and the volunteer. Their resilience is undoubtedly fueled by the love and sacrifices each made by themselves to go above and beyond in their support of one another. Military families make sacrifices and do it proudly. They accept this as part of their role to our nation's defense. Being a military spouse in particular takes a special commitment and temperament. They often endure unwanted separations, PCS moves, while raising children by themselves. Spouses are the unsung heroes in our profession, and when the Army says it gets two for the price of one in an Army married couple, it couldn't be more right. For Sergeant First Class Abril, he has led a versatile career path, primarily outside of his own MOS of 63 Whiskey. He became a band member in the Heidelberg, Germany, as a solo and chorus vocalist with the Usera Band. He spent 24 months traveling throughout Europe as a musical ambassador. He has performed with many Army bands since then, wherever he was stationed, to include the 77th Army Band, the former 2nd Infantry Division Band, and the 1st Armored Division Band. Sergeant Abril may be best known in his Army career as the Voice, having performed as a master of ceremony for hundreds of ceremonies, to include general officer patch ceremonies, changes of command and responsibilities at all levels, retirement ceremonies, funerals, observances, concert, band programs, groundbreaking ceremonies, and many, many others. He has been called the voice of Camp Humphreys, 2ID, USFK, and even Fort Bliss. As a sought-after MC, many of the ceremonies were conducted externally from the unit to which he was assigned. The irony is that had this particular ceremony not been in his honor, he would likely be the one standing behind the podium today. I'm sure that your enthusiasm for life will make your next adventure very fulfilling.
Ladies and gentlemen, now moving forward is Sergeant First Class Vincent L. Abril, 19th Expeditionary Sustainment Command, Public Affairs Operations NCO, 8th United States Army. Ladies and gentlemen, now moving forward is Mrs. Julie Abril, Sergeant First Class Abril's wife, along with Emily and Oscar, their children. Sergeant First Class Abril will now present his wife Julie and daughter Emily with a bouquet of roses, and son Oscar a teddy bear for their love, support, and dedication over the last 20 years of service. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated during the presentation of the award. Colonel Cooper will now award Sergeant First Class Abril the Meritorious Service Medal. Attention to orders. Sergeant First Class Abril is awarded the Meritorious Service Medal for meritorious service while assigned to successive positions of increasing responsibility over a 20-year career, culminating as the 19th Expeditionary Sustainment Command Public Affairs Operations NCO. Sergeant First Class Abril's dedication to duty and exemplary performance are in keeping with the finest traditions of military service and reflect great credit upon him, the 19th Expeditionary Sustainment Command, 8th Army in the United States Army. Signed, Michael A. Russell Sr., Brigadier General, USA Commanding. The Certificate of Appreciation for Service in the Armed Forces of the United States of America is presented to Sergeant First Class Abril. I extend to you my personal thanks and the sincere appreciation of a grateful nation for your contribution and honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of the nation during a critical time in its history, with a devotion to duty and a spirit of sacrifice in keeping with the proud traditions of military service. I trust that in the coming years, you will maintain an active interest in the armed forces and the purpose for which you served. Those who will follow in your footsteps will draw inspiration from your commitment, dedication, and sacrifice made to ensure the protection of our American freedoms. My best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future. Signed, Donald J. Trump, Commander-in-Chief. On behalf of the United States Army Chief of Staff, General Mark A. Milley, Colonel Cooper will now present the Certificate of Retirement to Sergeant First Class Abril for having served faithfully and honorably in the Armed Forces of the United States of America, signed by the Army Chief of Staff, Mark A. Milley. Colonel Cooper is now presenting Sergeant First Class Abril with the Soldier for Life retiree pin. The tradition of the Army retiree lapel pin goes back to 1968. By wearing the pin, retirees can proudly show the world that they are forever part of the Army family. Because no soldier can succeed without his family, Colonel Cooper is now presenting Mrs. Abril with a certificate of appreciation in gratitude for her many years of devoted support to her husband, so that he could support our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, please give Mrs. Abril a round of applause. On behalf of a grateful nation, this flag is presented to Sergeant First Class Abril for his 20 years of faithful service and devotion to the nation. On behalf of the U.S. Army, we proudly salute Sergeant First Class Retired Abril. Ladies and gentlemen, Sergeant First Class Retired Vincent L. Abril.
Good afternoon, Colonel Cooper, Command Sergeant Major Smith, Command Sergeant Major Barone, Command Sergeant Major Kim, Sergeant Major Lassus, Sergeant Major Duggar, First Lieutenant Liu, my HACXO, Sergeant First Class Ashu, I see you out there, Mr. Bell, other distinguished guests, soldiers, family members, and friends. Thank you all so very much for being a part of this very special occasion. I know many of you have traveled from afar to be here as my family and I close out this chapter of our lives. We are very honored and humbled at your presence here today. Thank you so much. Please allow me to first begin by recognizing the fine team of the 65th Medical Brigade and the 8th United States Army Band Quintet, and for all the folks that are running the sound and all the equipment and the public affairs folks. Please join me in a round of applause for them doing such a wonderful job putting on an awesome ceremony today. I'm going to be quite frank. Nearly 21 years ago, I was a high school dropout with absolutely no direction in life. There you have it. I received a GED, joined the National Guard and then the Army Reserve before finally being deemed eligible to join the active Army, for which I'm very grateful. When that time came, I eagerly hopped on a plane in San Juan, Puerto Rico, completely broken with just the clothes on my back, and began my Army journey to my very first unit, the 19th Expeditionary Sustainment Command, which was then known as the 19th Theater Support Command. 20 years later, I leave the Army from the same unit, but this time with my own little family in a stable foundation consisting of experience, education, and the chance of a lifetime to serve alongside the best Americans, the 1% our nation has to offer. Earlier, Sergeant First Class Gatlin spoke on how no soldier can achieve success without the support of their family and loved ones. And that also includes our Army family, my Army family. The Army has some of the best and brightest and most courageous soldiers on earth that will stop at nothing to help out a fellow soldier. If I have attained any level of success in these past 20 years, it is certainly due to the mentors, leaders, and fellow soldiers I have had the great opportunity of serving with. Sergeant Bear, it's nice to have you here as well. I know I forgot about you. I was just thinking about you. A big thank you goes out to all my fellow soldiers, past and present. You are America's best, and our nation depends on you to protect our freedom and our American way of life. We are all indebted to you and to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice, knowing that there is nothing more sacred than our duty, our honor, and our country. I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge our DoD civilians. Some of them are here today. Thank you for being here. Many whom have served in the armed forces themselves and continue to do so proudly, serving our nation and its fighting forces. I had the great pleasure of working with many of you. You are vital links in the chain that makes us Army strong, especially 8th Army strong. Thank you for your continued dedication and service to our soldiers and families. It has also been a true honor to have had the distinct pleasure of serving alongside many foreign military forces. But none, in my experience, as kind and accepting as our Korean counterparts. I've spent many years here in Korea. Having worked over 8 years in South Korea, I know kachi-kachi-da is just not the flavor of the month. It is a sentiment that's shared not only by our Katusas and ROK allies, but also our Korean Service Corps, KGS, and local national teammates as well. These folks work tirelessly as a true continuity for many of the vital operations and soldier services we depend upon across this peninsula, and we all know that sitting here today. Your steadfast commitment to the ROK-US Ironclad Alliance is remarkable. It truly is. It has been my privilege to work with so many of you over the years. I also want to thank my mother and father-in-law who are here with us today, along with my nephew who has just finished up his service, and with his girlfriend, very beautiful girlfriend, Jisoo. Thank you for being here as well. And my sister-in-law, my other nephew, Minsu, and everyone else that has traveled so far away, but particularly my family. They too have supported my military career, knowing and understanding that America stands for what America stands for, and for that I am truly grateful. And please know that I love all of you. I really do, from the bottom of my heart. To Emily and Oscar, I love you both more than you can imagine. I am proud of my own 2 dandelions, the official flower of the military child. You both make Mom and Dad very proud at how strong and determined you are to succeed in everything you do, no matter where we go. Thank you both for supporting Daddy's service and for being the best kids that parents can have. In closing, and saving the best for last, in my opinion, I must confess that all of these great opportunities that I've enjoyed throughout my career would not have come to fruition without my wise queen and love of my life. I met this former FMWR employee in a small place called Camp Hialeah 19 years ago. At that time, I considered leaving the military after my first enlistment, and she convinced me otherwise. So here we are today. Thank you, honey. She has been my source of inspiration and a source of inspiration for many military families throughout the Army, serving as a volunteer and as a true advocate for military families. Julie, honey, thank you for sharing your life with me, really. For serving with me and for your unconditional love through it all. You are my diamond that keeps shining through and through. And I most certainly would not be where I am at today without you. And that rhymes. Sarangheo mi corazón. I love you. Thank you. Again, thank all of you for celebrating this special occasion with us and for allowing us to be a part of your family. It has truly been a privilege and an honor to serve our great country. Best wishes always to everyone for a future full of success and happiness. Be all that you can be. Army strong, Sergeant First Class Abril signing off.
in the bar and playing.
Nice dude, huh?
I got that.
Oh, thanks, appreciate it. Thanks, sir. Appreciate you. Thanks so much, sir. Thanks, sir. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Thanks for coming, sir. Thank you. Thanks, sir. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Oh, thanks, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Hey, Battle. Thanks so much. Appreciate you guys. 감사합니다.
Young lady, nice to meet you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, looking good, first sergeant. Look at you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much again. Really appreciate you guys. You made it special. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Yes.